Hello, everybody. Happy Monday afternoon. This morning I got up and watched Amy at the Crafty Cat hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 6. She drew her Monday 2 words for her prompts for the 50 Stack Challenge. She's on word 41, number 41, 42. I can't talk. Number 41, she drew words. Number 42, she drew gold. So I made a video this morning, and when I got done, almost done, I was going to pause it and go find something gold. And when I stood up, my camera was dark. I thought, oh my God, it quit recording. I hadn't recorded at all. I didn't even hit record. That's what happens at 6 in the morning in my world. So anyway, I've already started. I'll give you a rundown what I did, because now I'm backtracking. So I thought I did the 50 stack challenge this morning. I did not. I did, but I didn't record it. So Amy is also doing a paper bag, and I told her that I was going to jump in and do one. And I had all these bags kind of ready to go, a Starbucks bag, and I was going to do this. And then I had this one. I don't know where I got this. I think this came from one of my clients. And so I was sitting here going through all my bags with you guys. I have another one on the floor. I have this big white one that I have. This is the one I was originally going to do, and I actually had it ready to go before Amy announced she was doing one. And I kind of smushed it out this way, and I don't know what I was going to do, but it was coffee dyed already and everything. So this morning I decided I'm going to do the last 25 challenges in a paper bag journal. So every week I will pull this out and just do the 2 challenges in it. So 41 words. This is my 41 words. This is the bag I used. I got it all cut apart. The bottom is under here. I have the bottom like this. You know, I smushed it up this way instead of this way, except that these are in. I'm going to leave it like this because I want to do one of these. And I put this ad out of his 1923, I don't know if it's a 1923, but it's around there. This is one of the modern Priscillas. I found this. So here's some words: cashmere bouquet soap, and then it's talking about the ad. And this is such a beautiful image. And then I ran masking tape, and I inked it up. I inked it up, and then I stamped it. And I made sure that that's what I used to bind. Make sure that the, end was good. I glued these sides of the bag, of the bottom of the bag, to give me a pocket. And I'm going to pop that in there, and that's next week I'll write my, I've had a busy morning, you guys. My brain is it's not firing on all pistons. 41, 42. Next week will be 43, 44. So I will pull this out and go to work on that. And in the meantime, it can stay in there. So that's where I'm at. I had to move one of the handles because the handles were not even. But I don't think the people in the paper bag company care. So I have this ad. Let's just carry on now. I have this ad. Oh, there's a pretty stamp. I have to do the gold somehow. How are we going to do the gold? I have to bring the gold in. So I have this, and I have this. This is what I was doing when I thought I was videoing. Somewhere I've got to bring this gold in today. How about if I cut a pretty leaf? So this morning, what have I done, you might ask, or you might not ask. Well, I will tell you anyway. I cleaned up my client's house, my Monday teacher. School's not in session. I have never not done it every Monday. And this year she said, what do you think about going to every other Monday, which is what she did before she hired me. The other people that cleaned for her before me were only bi-monthly. And I said, well, that's your decision. I'm good with it. It's fine with me. So for the first time in 3 years, she went twice a month. So that's okay. I'm not trying to feed children. I mean, I don't mind sitting at home on a Monday or doing something else. So, but today was the Monday. Last Monday, I just didn't do anything. I probably went thrifting, but we're not going to talk about it because I'm going today. So anyway, I cleaned for her, and then I ran up and got my granddaughter, who lives about 5 miles from her. And I'm going to take her to a doctor's appointment, so her parents didn't have to, my son and my daughter-in-law, so they didn't have to miss work. They've missed a lot of work lately. I've got a baby granddaughter that has had nonstop ear infection like forever. She was 8 months old. They don't usually do tubes till they're a year old. They finally said, we've got to do it because she was starting to show hearing loss. And when they went in there and put him in, he said, oh boy, it was bad. It instantly started running out, the fluid that was trapped. So they've missed a lot of work anyway. I think I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. Linda, what are you doing? I don't know. I think I'm gonna make this go right here. I'm gonna cut this off. Anyway, the town I'm taking my granddaughter to, where she goes to the doctor, they have a very cool, let me see how that looks. That's kind of fun. I think I'll do it. Why not? Let's do Fabri-Tac. My Fabri-Tac fell on the floor. But I have a brand new one that I've been dying to open because that other one is so aggravating. It was at the end. So I took her to Subway. I said, what do you want to eat? Do you want gas station pizza or do you want to go to Subway? I knew she'd say Subway. So we went to Subway, and she's in the living room on her phone with her ear. Do I have to cut this off? I do. I always forget. Do I? Gosh, it's about my 900th. No, I don't. What the heck's going on with it? Anyway, I'm going to take off. They have some cool shops in that town that are, it's a one lady. She owns like 5 sheds, and you just go through the sheds. It's going to be dangerous because I'm going to want to buy things, but I'm not going to. My friend is going along. She says she knew I was going, and she texts me back. She goes, do they have thrift shops? Yes. Yes, they do. They're not really thrift shops. Yeah, they kind of are. It kind of is. I said, you've been there. You know what it is. She went with my son and his friend. We went garage sailing, and they stopped there. There's my gold. I don't know that that's exactly what I wanted to do, but we did it. I think I'll add a piece here. Coming down. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait. My granddaughter got in the car while I went in and washed. I woke her up and I said, do you want to take a shower? She goes, yeah. Do I have time? Yes. I said, you've got a lot of time. So while she was in the shower, I picked up toys. It looked like, my friend, I sent her a picture. I said, look, tractors. My grandson has, I'm saying he probably has 100 tractors because everybody that their kids have grown up and they're done with them, everybody's sending their tractors out there. I'm not kidding. By the tubs full. And it's kind of comical. And anyway, he had them all over this second bedroom. It's not a bedroom. It's an extra room. It's all toys. It's a toy room. It's become a toy room because now they have a baby with baby toys, and he's 3. I picked all the tractors up, put them in tubs, lined up the big tractors. He's probably got at least 10 great big John Deeres and all kinds of stuff. 2 garbage trucks. He used to love garbage trucks. All right, what should we do on the back? I was thinking about doing this, and I think I'm just going to do it. And I love this grunginess here. Oh yeah, also I covered the seams where there were bumpy things. I covered them with cardstock. I think I'm going to put her on here and leave her grungy. All right, I'm just gonna put down some glue. There's really no good way to do this. It's a junk journal. We're junking today. I'm gonna go all over the top. Okay, so I got my words and my gold. That's my goal. I got to get my 2 things. My 2 50 Stack Challenge prompts. I'm tired, you guys. It's a big house I did. They got a brand new addition, and it's beautiful. I don't do the upstairs anymore. They've got a brand new bedroom, brand new master bath, pantry, laundry room, and a great big, just a room that you would come in. It's got a huge built-in bench that goes up the wall. It's beautiful with like a panel. And underneath the bench, there are 3 different baskets, shapes, great big baskets that are like to hold shoes and stuff. And then kitchen, dining room, living room that is not new. It's the original house. It's beautiful. And I worked there. I mean, I cleaned through the construction. I just want to make sure the Modern Priscilla is on. So it takes exactly 2 hours to do the house. And they have a great big dog who is so charming. He's a Puddle Pointer. He's huge. He's tall. He's huge. He's just a gentle giant. He's so sweet. So we have to have a few minutes of, how are you? Did you miss me? That kind of stuff. Little lovies. He's got to be petted, and then after I've done that, he's all good. He just goes and lays down. He's over it. He's done. So sometimes I send pictures of him. He used to tear stuff up. Oh, there'd be well, she had one of those. They're called puffs. It's like a footstool, but it was the new. They were like a puff, like a palm thing. He had that chewed up all over the floor one time when I got there. One time he had sunglasses on the floor, hats, torn up his dog bed. I've walked into that. I've walked into torn up pillows from the couch, fluff all over. Obviously, he's loved. He's quite the guy, but he has calmed down. He even went to discipline school or hunting school or whatever to be a hunting dog. But he used to be, he has to have a lot of running, and I think somebody comes, I think the lady's father, who is elderly, I think he comes and takes him for a run, lets him out, like around, it's right after I leave, probably a couple times a day. Okay, I just tore that right off. Please be right side up. There we go. There's my Modern Priscilla. Let's ink it. So we've got the front and the back done. We've got our prompts. I did it, Amy. I did it, girl. I'm just going to leave it raggy down here. I really am. I'm just going to leave it raggy. I don't know what I'm going to do with these handles. I might wrap them. The name of the Miss Gura something. G-U-Z-K-A. G-U-S-K. I don't know. Alta, Iowa. The zip code is CIG or something like that. CI6, clearly not a modern zip code system. Oh, golly. So, I don't know. I'll have to share what I buy today if I buy anything. I don't need anything, that's for sure. This is leaving a trim. Okay. What are we going to do on the inside? Let's do the inside. First, we'll cover it. The service editor's page. That's kind of interesting. Please tell Mrs. Service Editor if it's correct for a man to trim his fingernails on a streetcar. Oh my God, we got to have this. We've got to have it. Housekeeping. Oh, this is sweet. I don't have to have any certain theme to this. New and attractive ways of adaptable apple. Something about losing weight. Should we put the cabbages in there? It's a pretty ad, isn't it? Look at all these ads. You know, I could just sit here and go through and cut the ads out and make ephemera with them. I think we'll just put this one on here. Okay, I'm going to cut this away. This is just clearly very rotten. So Dolly left me a very sweet comment, where she was from, what she's up to. I asked her, did she junk journal or did she have Instagram? You know, because not everybody wants to do flipping YouTube. I'll tell you that. And she wrote me a very sweet reply in my last video. And it was so fun. And she said she's from West Virginia, and I wanted to tell her, Dolly, I want to tell you, I went on a motorcycle ride with my last husband. We're not counting, okay? That was a joke. One thing I wanted to do that was on my bucket list was ride a motorcycle run. It started in California, Ontario, California, and it goes all the way across the United States. And the year we went was the 30th year. It was 2016. And it was to honor the Vietnam veterans, and it was a ride to the wall. It's called Run for the Wall. And I wanted to do that, and he said, if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. So we did. But we jumped on in Kansas, because I'm in the Midwest here. I'm going to do something here. And we went through West Virginia, and it was absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to tell you, if you're not a good seasoned rider, those curves around that coal area where they do coal, we had a warning in the morning, you know, we had morning meetings. There were 350 of us on motorcycles. And in California where they started, there were 700 or 800, and they branched off into 3 and went the South Way, the Southern route, the Central route, which is what I was on. No, there was Southern route, Midway, and Central. And Central went across the central part of the United States, which is what I was on. Anyway, by the time they reached the wall, there were 850 motorcycles coming in on Memorial Weekend. Anyway, and it was a lot of veterans. It was the most meaningful thing I've ever done in my life. Don't tell my kids that giving birth to them wasn't meaningful, because that's not what I mean. It was heartwarming to meet veterans and some of them shared their stories with me. Horrific stories, by the way. Cried, met some amazing friends. But anyway, we went through West Virginia, and one of the stops, there's stops along the way. They've been doing this, I think they're up to 30, I don't know how many years now, 35 years it's been going on. Started with 2 Vietnam vets riding to D.C. to remind the government to not forget that there are some left behind, because there were, you know, POWs, MIAs. Where are they? You know, are they just choosing to not come back off the grid. We want their remains, etc., etc. So that's basically what the run was started for. And I'm just adding some more tape down here. I'm sure I'm off camera. Anyway, it was amazing. But we went through every town we went through and stayed overnight in. They'd been doing it for years and years and years. So the Harley shops put on lunch. Usually, the Love's gas stations gave free fills. They filled our motorcycles for free. They gassed up 300 to 350 motorcycles in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because they don't turn the pump off. They just turn the pump on and start filling, and then you pull ahead, and then the next one rolls up. If there's one beside you, you're in rows of two bikes, and there's two on each side of the pump. It's fast. It's amazing. I'm sure there's YouTube videos about it if you wanted to see, because it's just incredible. And then the Love's gas station picks up, they pay the whole tab. But you know, a motorcycle's not that many gallons, but still. But anyway, we went through Raynell. And in Raynell, some of the kids that were little kids when they started are now parents with kids in that elementary school. And the school is actually, the hallways have articles and pictures of the kids back then. Well, over the years, they've got photos and newspaper articles about the Run for the Wall coming through. And we took a collection. They do it every year. They take up a collection through the whole route. They auction off stuff. Like, let's say I could offer an amazing knife, you know, like a collector's knife is what I'm saying, or a quilt, a beautiful quilt of honor. And then in the morning meeting, then you have an auction, and you auction those donated things off. And the money that's raised or donated goes to the school at Raynell every year. They've always supported the school of Raynell. And the year I went, we gave them, I'm probably going to misspeak, but I want to say it was $21,000, something like that, for them to use towards software for the students, computers, you know, whatever they need, because it's a very, very poor community, very hard hit. The coal mining has ended. As anywhere, a lot of, you know, unemployment or whatever. I don't know what they gave this year. I didn't see as far as money. But they put on a meal in the school lunchroom. It was Thanksgiving dinner. They had ham and turkey and mashed potatoes and dressing and corn. The whole town gets involved in this. And when we pulled up, I cried so hard, because when we pulled up, all these kids had matching T-shirts on, and they had bags like Walmart sacks, and they told us to bring gifts to them. So, you know, like, we went and we had, I don't know, probably 100 Mardi Gras beads. People had ink pens. Some people had army stickers, little bitty flashlights, whatever you could find to bring as a gift. And those little kids, the elementary school, they had bags to collect what we gave them. Whatever you throw out at a parade, you know, everybody had that kind of stuff. We ran to a Walmart the night before and bought all the Mardi Gras beads we could find. It was amazing. I have pictures of me at Raynell at the school with all those little kids. But the meal was phenomenal. I'm not kidding. They had a huge table full of pie. They had pie. I don't think they talk like that. That's more Missouri. But, okay, that's cute. Let's do one more and then I'm going to quit. I need to get a needlework book. That's a neat idea. How about this? Oh, that's got a hole in it. Dang. New attractive ways of soup. That's the apple one. What about it? 12 cents a can, Campbell's soup. Oh, look at this. This is it right here. Oh, there's a Montgomery Ward one. Oh, wow. 1923, this says. October 19, right there. October 1923. Butterick Patterns. Okay, we know we want this on there. The sad thing is, I'm going to have to cover this. Well, I don't have to. I can put some kind of a signature or something in there that won't cover these back pages. That's how we'll do it. Anyway, back to my Raynell story and my West Virginia story. We were in Corydon, Indiana the night before. They had a catfish fry there for us. And it was put on at the fairgrounds, probably by the VFW. That's generally what happens in the towns. It's the VFW. They all get together and feed everybody. But then, you know, we leave things behind, gifts, monetary gifts and stuff. But I'm not going to be able to get this Butterick Patterns thing on here. Then we rode in, we got up the next day and rode into, we went through Shenandoah and stopped at the Harley dealership and they fed us lunch. Shenandoah Valley or something like that. I can't, I'm going to go a little bit, I wish I could get that Butterick on there. I want this Butterick on here. I'm just going to try to get it. Okay, let's do it. But anyway, the mountain, going around the mountain roads in West Virginia, it was like crazy. Curves, slow down, go, slow down, go, slow down, go. And the highways are so slick from the oil residue and the dew, and if it rains, you gotta watch out. One of the guys went off the road. Every year somebody has a wreck, at least one or two, on each route. But in West Virginia, the roads on that through those mining towns, it's so, I can't even tell you how beautiful it is. It's so beautiful. I'm sure a lot of you have been through those Smoky Mountains and the Appalachians, and it's just an amazingly beautiful part of the country. So I can't even remember where we stayed, outside of Raynell. On the other side of Raynell somewhere, because we rolled into Arlington the next morning and stayed in Arlington at hotels. There were 3 host hotels that we had to get we all stayed together, so we basically took over the hotels. Because by the time you get to Arlington, all the 800 and some motorcycles are there. A lot of people camp too. There's a church there that lets people camp at their church and take showers in the parsonage. And then the next morning, you get to ride into Arlington on the motorcycle if you're a first time or a new guy. You get to ride into Arlington. They're the only motorcycle group that's ever is or been allowed to ride into Arlington. And so I was on that. You get a zip tie to put on your handlebars of your motorcycle. And it's a one-time thing. Of course, I could probably do it again because I wouldn't be with the same motorcycle or, registration, license plate. But I wouldn't cheat somebody else out of that opportunity. But you have to ride in very, very quietly and solemnly. And then we watch the changing of the guard, which I had already seen previously. I'm just cutting this extra magazine off down here. I know I'm out of camera shot. Boy, if you've never seen that changing of the guard, that's something else. Okay, there's our old ads. Okay, guys, I've got my covers done. We age it up a little bit. It's already aged, isn't it? So Dolly, thank you. I really appreciated your message. And I saw today when I was at work, I heard my phone go ding ding, meaning I got some kind of a message. So I looked and I could see it was from you, and I kind of read it, but I didn't like take time out of my client. Well, it's a flat rate anyway. I could do what I want, but I don't ever raise her price. Don't want to pet her dog for 5 minutes. It's not her problem. Can't charge her for that. But anyway, I saw that you had written again, and something about we're your morning coffee, us girls, and I think Amy's the central part of it. That's how I met Carol Laws and Nancy, because Amy, who I had done her kits for years, and talked to her like friends, like shared personal stuff about our kids and stuff. And so when she did a collab and she invited, somehow we all ended up on the same one, and that's how I got to know the other gals. This is my junk journal, guys. Here's my pocket. Here's the front and the back. I'd like to take this off, but I probably shouldn't. Maybe I could leave it. Leave it. Stop, stop, stop. I want to pick it off, though. I don't think I would get it off. No, I'd be better off leaving it. It's kind of cool. All right, there we go, guys. I got my gold and my words. I got a lot of words. There's words. Oh, look, this is funny. I slapped my hand and said, stop it. This says, stop it, don't you dare. That's funny. I need to use that. All right, guys. Hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 6, hosted by Amy at the Crafty Cat 7212. On Etsy, she's Crafty Cat USA in capital letters. Capital C, Crafty, capital C, Cat, capital USA. And she's on Instagram, Crafty Cat 72. And she says she's not on Facebook, but her posts from Instagram still go over there. So, words gold, done. Thanks, Amy, for the lovely prompts and challenges. Thanks to everybody for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.